Hello and welcome, and if you're a subscriber, welcome back. I know I'm late to the party on this one, but oh my god, I just had to talk about it. One of my favorite things to do is watch companies with terrible management making the dumbest business decisions ever. It's kind of vindicating watching all these so-called professionals driving massive companies into the ground and thinking like, well, I might have my dumb moments as a manager, but I'd never think to just assassinate my own business model.
Nice work, 47. They will not discover the body there.
And as fun as it was in my last video to talk about the prolonged unintentional suicide by the management of a small Eastern European gaming studio, people like Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg are in a totally different league. These are two cases of massive multi-billion-dollar companies apparently trying their best to destroy their own companies as quickly and dramatically as possible, and it's amazing. Large corporations are usually very calculating and careful when they're planning out their moves, but when you let a moronic, eccentric, egotistical playboy grab the wheel, then stack the board with sycophants, then you inevitably get this erratic, terrible management that slowly burns a company to the ground. I'll give you the spark notes here in case you live under a stone, or like watching this video 10 minutes after I upload it when all the information will be old news. But in general, Twitter is currently in the process of killing itself slowly because Elon Musk has no notion how nor any motivation to run the company properly. The guy basically bought it because of the legal equivalent of no take backsies and has been running the company into the ground ever since. In his latest management blunder, Twitter has limited the number of items users can view every single day.
What have you done? Sometimes the hand of fate must be forced.
Like, I can't even begin to fathom the moronic chain of events that would need to occur for this to happen. Social media companies, including Twitter, have invested billions of dollars collectively trying to generate algorithms, interfaces, and content in an attempt to maximize the amount of time users spend on their platform. But then the longer you spend on Twitter, the more money they make. And then, for some reason, Elon Musk and his board of yes-sayers came to the conclusion that it would be a good idea to place a literal hard cap on that time. For what? To prevent data scraping from bots? The solution to this tiny, insignificant problem of data scraping is to just murder user engagement altogether. To me, this is like if Toyota had a problem with the Camry, where the car makes funny noises when the engine gets too hot. So the solution is just install a goddamn kill switch that shuts the car down if it travels further than 20 kilometers a day. How the hell did nobody consider that this new feature might have an impact on the user experience? Predictably, people just started hitting the cap and then leaving the site because that's literally what it was designed to do. I suspect there's a lesson here in over-centralized management or executive mingling. I have no proof of this, but my experience with executives tells me exactly what happened. Elon Musk probably heard about this data scraping issue by chance, like he overheard it or saw it in like some minor report or something, and because of his frustration with how poorly the company's been performing, he fixated on this one tiny thing and then went on a warpath against it in a gross overreaction. So, in an emotional hissy fit, he calls the meeting with the chief engineer or some other staff or whatever and comes up with this insane solution to just cap the amount of time that Twitter users can use the platform. And since power is so centralized on himself, nobody can nor wants to stop him. Because if this change wasn't just the reckless decision of a single unopposed person, I can't imagine another way whereby something so mundane warrants such a self-destructive response that's so utterly extreme. Anyways, on to Meta. They recently released their Threads app, which is basically just a clone of Twitter. I'm going to hit you with some news that may shock you if you're not following these tech companies closely, but the Meta stock price has been absolutely soaring over the past few months. Like, even before the wild success of Threads, they've steadily been improving the stock value over a few months to like almost pre-pandemic, pre-Meta levels. Yeah, puzzle that one out, investors, because last I checked, the metaverse as a whole is still an abandonware wasteland of legless avatars forever doomed to wander the ruined hellscape of NFTs and furry porn. But who knows, I guess they're making a comeback. And just a tip from a young, inexperienced businessman, but if you spend $13 billion developing and marketing the metaverse, if you want people to use it, you should probably tell them what it is. Like, go ask 10 people what the metaverse is, and I bet at best half of them will have the correct answer. Anyways, back to talking about Threads. The app itself is fine, but it's missing key things like a search feature or a web version. It's actually surprising how bare bones the whole thing is. My unverifiable hypothesis about the whole situation is that Zuckerberg and the Meta team have been watching the slow spiraling decline of Twitter for a while now, so they started putting together like a competitor. And then they saw Twitter cripple its own business model by limiting the amount of time users can spend on the platform.
It's afraid. It's afraid!
And then after watching this, Meta decided to launch Threads early just to capitalize on the influx of users that have literally been ejected from their own platform by Twitter. And it seems to have worked because based on the last update I read, they just surpassed 100 million users, which is a growth rate that's just frankly astonishing. My favorite part of this story, and the part that I'm going to be following most closely, is the fact that Elon Musk has threatened to sue Meta. I can't imagine on what grounds this would be on or what proprietary technology is being stolen. Twitter is claiming that Meta recruited former Twitter employees, but honestly, if Elon Musk wanted to retain talent and industry knowledge, then maybe he shouldn't have laid off half his programmers. Unless you can cite specific no-compete clauses, then this one is just 100% on you, buddy. This kind of reminds me of the time that PUBG tried to sue Fortnite for just doing what it did, but more successfully. Given the apparent lack of a solid legal leg to stand on, this reeks of a lawsuit just designed to spook Meta into backing down with their Threads app. And honestly, if that's the case, I don't know what the hell Twitter is thinking. First of all, Elon Musk, the CEO of Meta, is literally ready to fight you in real life, so I don't think your corporate saber-rattling intimidation tactics are going to get them to back down. And secondly, Twitter is really small compared to Meta, like very small. Meta's market cap is nearly 30 times as large, so unless Twitter is getting some kind of external financial or legal assistance, I seriously doubt they'd even have a chance in court.
We've got witnesses, precedent, and a paper trail a mile long.
Yes, well, I have 10 high-priced lawyers.
So I imagine that any kind of legal action here is going to be basically fruitless. Once again, I'm imagining this lawsuit is just another maneuver from Elon Musk. You never hear things like Twitter lawyers threaten to sue over this stupid thing. It's always Elon Musk himself personally grabbing the helm at Twitter and steering it directly into an iceberg, like out of spite, I guess. So, I don't know, maybe now's the time to invest in major Silicon Valley law firms because I bet the lawyers are all salivating at the chance to pounce on this one. In the end, I'm 100% indifferent to either Meta or Twitter. I'm not like taking sides or anything. I don't see myself regularly using either of these platforms. I just don't like them. But honestly, I think it'd be best for humanity if they both just destroyed each other forever in a violent implosion of QAnon rants and SpongeBob memes, but I don't think we're gonna get that lucky. Anyways, good afternoon, thanks for watching, and if you're subscribers, see you next time.